Hello everybody, welcome back to another video for the day. Now we're going back into r/Tales of Neckbeard, but beforehand be sure to like the video. During the video, comment down below if there is something you would like to discuss, and afterwards consider subscribing to the channel. Alright, let's go! Our first story comes to us from username Dolly, Stalker Neckbeard. Hi, this is actually my first Reddit post. It's a bit of a long story. To start off, this story is set in the small country Denmark, so please excuse any spelling errors or weird formatting. Now, let's look at the cast of this story. Aya, me, prime target for neckbeards and creeps alike. Sarah, my best friend. Steph, Greek angel sent from the heavens in a form of a blue short-haired punk. Mike, also my best friend who's a year younger than me and also the neckbeard's former best friend. And the neckbeard of the day, Chris. He is not a full neckbeard, but I think he's got enough qualities to qualify as one. He stinks, he's quite heavy, he likes to loot anime and wears trench coats, fingerless gloves, and has a weird everyone has a crush on me complex. Oh, and I'm 100% sure he owns a fedora. He has it on his Facebook profile picture. He doesn't have a beard though. He's 15, so I doubt he even could have one. When I was 15, I wanted to enroll in an after-school club. Schools here in Denmark don't have clubs like I think other countries have. We do have something called youth schools made for youngsters 13 to 18. Youth schools have different courses you can enroll into. Me being an anime fan and a big fan of cosplay, signed up to some cosplaying classes. These classes were once a week for 3 hours. I was put on a waiting list since the course was full, but the day after we were supposed to be the first day for those who got into the course, I got a call from the office and they told me I got in. A week goes by and I excitedly turn up to the class. Now I'm just gonna explain why I'm a prime target for creeps. I'm a small girl from a gymnastics loving family, and since I could remember, I've been a gymnast and dancer, so it's easy to say I'm quite fit. I have 2 older brothers and they're both anime fans and also casual gamers. So since I was itty bitty, they've made me watch Pokemon and Naruto with them and stuck a controller in my hand as I was old enough to comprehend what video games were. Not to toot my own horn, but me and my brothers are not a bad looking bunch of kids. So me being small, fit, quite good looking, a gamer and an anime fan is the reason, since I don't really look like the typical anime fan. Not to be rude, but I stick out like a sore thumb when I go to cons with my friends. Okay, back to the story. So after being introduced to everyone, I was immediately friends with them all. They made me feel safe and happy. I got invited to do a group cosplay with Sarah and some of her friends. They needed a Haruhi for our own high school host club cosplay, and I was perfect. After going there for a month, Mike told us he had a friend that was interested in cosplay and would like to come for a visit. Sarah and I were excited and positive about it because there was a spot open. The day comes for Mike's friend to come, and I was there early together with 2 other girls. I went to the cafe. The school had a cafe for the students who wanted some cake, and I wasn't able to get dinner at home and asked for a glass of water. When I come back into the sewing room, I smell something rancid and visibly cringe. I look for the source of the smell, and it's a greasy, big-boned guy wearing cargo shorts, a dirty hoodie with a wolf on it that looked like it hadn't been washed for months, fingerless gloves, and one of those snapback hats with a wolf on it too. I beelined for the other 2 girls, and they were giving him weird looks too. They started commenting on how he looked and smelled, but I kept my mouth shut. I kept thinking to myself, maybe he had a delightful personality. I was wrong. The supervisor and sewing teacher came together with everyone else and did a roll call. I started making my mock-up of the suit for my cosplay and was chatting with Sarah. At some point, I had to go to the bathroom, and when I came out, I saw Chris was waiting for me outside of the bathroom. I felt a shiver up my spine, but I put on a polite smile and asked, "Do you need something?" Who are you cosplaying?" "Oh, I'm cosplaying Haruhi Fujioka. I think you'll look better as female anime character. I don't remember who. This happened over 2 years ago, and my memory sucks when it comes to interactions." Well, it's too late now. I genuinely got pretty agitated, but I hate confrontation, so I just left and kept at least 10 meters between us. He ended up enrolling. As more time went by, the more I stopped hoping that he would have been nice and just ignored him. He would from time to time try to give us some weird compliments or strike up a conversation on uncomfortable topics. Whenever my angel Steph saw that I was uncomfortable, she would make up an excuse for me to go with her. He would sometimes just stand very close to me when I was having conversations with someone. Whenever a topic such as guns, weed, or off-brand came up into conversation, he would from across the room sprint over and try to join the conversation. Up until that point, he was just annoying, but I started getting creeped out when I at some point saw him standing in front of the main entrance to my apartment complex one day after school. He saw me and was about to come over, but I acted like I got a call and put my phone to my ear and acted like I was on the phone. I then turned around and went in through the back entrance. I got a panic attack as soon as I was inside of my apartment. I only told Sarah and Steph what happened, and they were freaking out. From then on, I would see them stand by my apartment complex a couple of days in the week. I made it a habit to go through the back entrance. He also texted me on several occasions, but I didn't answer. He was staring at me at all the times in classes, and people started noticing too. Mike stopped talking to Chris when I told him about how he'd been really creepy towards me. Mike and Chris's school isn't that far from where I live, so Mike theorized that he probably saw me on my way home from school. Mike also told me he had seen Chris had saved some pictures from me from my Facebook on his phone. I know I should have told the teachers, but I didn't want any drama or conflict. I was scared to be known as the paranoid girl who started a conflict because she was so selfish and thinking someone was stalking her. I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying that I was genuinely scared of that and had those thoughts. I did tell my mom though, and all she said was this: "Are you sure you're not just being mean to someone who wants to be your friend?" I stopped telling her stuff after that. Chris never worked on his cosplay though, but when he wasn't staring creepily at me or forcing himself into obviously private conversations, he sat in a corner watching Family Guy or anime without headphones on. At some point, we went on a trip to a fabric store. I came a bit early with Sarah so we could look at everything together and find some fabric for our whole group cosplay. We were 7 people. Mike and I shared some fries when suddenly an angry Chris came up to us in all his stinking glory. "Why didn't you come to the party I arranged?" I hadn't gotten any invitation, and even if I ignored his text, I still read them. None of them said anything about a party. "What party?" "The one yesterday." "We have literally no idea of what you're talking about, dude." Mike and Chris went back and forth like that while I sat trying to recall anything that could have been any kind of invitation. "You and Aya probably just ditched me to be together. You're probably dating. You know I'm gay, right?" He got frustrated and just turned and left red-faced and mumbling something under his breath. He didn't try anything the whole time in the store, and I was actually having fun. I later heard from some of the girls that he had made a group chat and told people that he was arranging a party. Chris and I checked, and we weren't in any group chat other than the one we had with Sarah, Steph, the 4 girls Mike arrived with, and a girl that wasn't there that day. The guy probably forgot to invite us to the group chat and took our silence in the group chat as we were coming. The other girls said no. To be honest, I would have made up an excuse for not coming too. Then one day something happened where I just snapped. The sewing teacher needed to measure if anything needed to be taken off the sleeves of my suit or if I sat right around the chest area. I had made the mistake of putting on a very thick and baggy shirt. Sarah had a skin-tight t-shirt with her that day and said I could borrow it. I was happy and excited because my suit was almost done, so I didn't think twice and slid my shirt off. I was wearing a sports bra though, so I didn't think the others would mind. They didn't. As I was about to reach for Sarah's extra shirt, I heard this: "Wow, they look good." I freeze and I looked over at Chris, who was smiling creepily, obviously staring at my chest. Everything was silent for around half a minute until I screamed this: "What the actual frick is wrong with you?" I threw my own shirt back on, I took my stuff and left. I was so angry I started crying. I was crying the whole way home, but composed myself before coming to my apartment. I didn't go to class for 2 weeks, but heard from Steph that Sarah and Mike had scared the creep off the team and he wasn't coming back. I came back and like Steph said, he wasn't there. He still showed up outside my apartment complex a couple of times a week and tried texting me, but stopped after a month. I hope he gets help or something. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to read my experience. And you just gotta love it, the fact that neckbeards don't have any sense of morality or, you know, common decency in their lives. Our next story comes to us from username Damians Poopit. Neckbeard brother. Hello, I just found out about this site and I wanted to share my story. Sorry if my writing is not that good. I'm German. So I don't know if this counts, but my big brother himself is a neckbeard, wearing a fedora and a black coat whenever he leaves the house. Not showering for weeks and having a thick greasy beard, and of course can't handle rejection. For understanding, my parents had never really cared for me, so I was pretty mature when I was younger and had to deal with the problems my brother had. When I was 13 or 14, my brother had a bad crush on one of his classmates, but they never talked to each other because my brother only had 2 friends and he never wanted more, so he didn't talk to other people. She was a really nice and funny girl, but also a nerd. I'll call her C. My brother at first admired her from a distance, which got worse day by day. It started with sometimes looking at her in our lunch break. We went to the same school, but as time went on, I would sometimes catch him following her from a distance and hiding to stare more at her. He then actually took up the courage to start talking to her, and at first she liked him. They would even meet up at our house and play some games, but that wasn't for long, since soon after they got friends, they had a class trip for a week in Spain. After the trip, my brother was really down and angry, and I asked him what was wrong, but he wouldn't answer, so I wrote to his 2 friends to see if something happened. They told me that he had tried to kiss C, but she turned him down. At that time, she and I were still friends on Facebook, so I wrote her and asked why she would turn him down, since they seemed to get along well. She then told me something that still disgusts me even though I knew my brother good. She told me they got drunk on the last night they were in Spain and he would force a kiss. Basically, he grabbed her hands and just kissed her. She understandably turned her head away, telling him to stop, but he wouldn't. He tried kissing her again, but she kicked him in the stomach and ran to her room. After that, she blocked him and told him to never contact her again. I thanked her and proceeded to try talking to my brother. I asked him why he would force C to kiss him, and he screamed at me like I wouldn't know anything and that she's just a liar and that all women only want buttholes and skinny boys who don't know how to treat someone. So I stopped asking and kind of forgot after 2 months, since C wrote me on Facebook again. She sent me a picture picture from a letter with the caption, "Please don't tell your brothers to stop or I need to get the police involved." In the letter, he wrote her how much he loved her and that he would off himself if she wouldn't go out with him, telling her that he would treat her right and that he thought the kiss was so good and he doesn't know why she would kick him and block him after that. I was shocked and didn't know how to really answer, so I told her I would take care of it, which I always did when my brother did something wrong. At that point, I tried telling my brother he couldn't do something like that, and he told me he knew and he would stop. He didn't. He would still write her letters, which would include details of what he wanted to do with her and how he would off himself if she wouldn't answer. So after another 3 months, we got a restraining order and my brother had to go to therapy for at least a month. That's my story. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, please ask. I also have some other stories on him if you are interested. I'd have to say, that just honestly feels downright creepy. Like, that the persistency is just weird. I mean, you would kind of think that once he's blocked on Facebook, he'd get some kind of indication, but no, apparently to him, she's just playing hard to get. But with that, that is going to have to be it for the video. If you would like what you had seen, be sure to like the video, comment down below what you liked about the video, and afterwards, consider subscribing to the channel. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.